In the early 90s, the final years of the arcade experience being all around superior to home gaming, it wasn't uncommon for Konami's 6-player multi-screen X-Men to share an attention-commanding spot in the center of the room, directly beside Street Fighter II and Mortal Kombat. On Saturdays, I could remember the game operating nearly non-stop, a sizable crowd steadily gathering whenever someone had enough quarters to make it to the end. Possibly an even bigger hit than TMNT and The Simpsons due to the almost gravitational pull of the massive cabinet, X-Men was sorely missing on 90s consoles and only briefly available digitally in the 2010s, until being resurrected like Phoenix in the Marvel Maximum Collection. Beneath the behemoth cabinet's appeals to save the world with your superpowers lies merely serviceable gameplay. Featuring the standard punch combos, aerial attacks, throwing, and stomping of downed opponents, the combat system is merely adequate for brief, mindless fun. Without any weapons to utilize, each character's unique mutant power is the game's big draw, tending to take up almost the entire screen and offering a more satisfying sense of fleeting omnipotence than your average beat-em-up super move. Besides the odd inclusion of Dazzler, the roster of 6 is well-rounded, though the diverse array of mutants don't handle quite as differently as one would expect. In addition to being easier, the Japanese version features restorative items. The enemy variety is lacking, dominated by sentinel variations assembled at an unimposing human height. You'll also encounter blatant Samus Aran clones. Even as a naive 9-year-old, I figured Konami was begging for a Nintendo lawsuit. The highly recognizable and memorable bosses such as Pyro, the Blob, and Wendigo make up for the paltry 7 enemy types, their ridiculous voice acting contributing to the game's legendary reputation. Featuring colors that still pop no matter how many decades pass, the visuals remain excellent. With the comic's 1991 reboot fresh in everyone's minds, the game immediately appeared dated by retaining the 1980s designs based off the Pride of X-Men show, but attracted massive interest regardless. The soundtrack was universally difficult to hear in arcades, drowned by near-deafening sound effects, making the oral experience much better at home. Each musical piece pulsates with energy, from the goofy but catchy voice sampling within the factory music, excellent percussion of the jungle stage, to the triumphant ending theme, which will have you hyped to immediately start over with another character. To Gen Zers, X-Men might not seem entirely worth the fuss older gamers often make about it. Perhaps it was the cabinet and license's pure spectacle, essential within arcades, that elevated it to a peak 90s gaming experience, even if it didn't deliver the more nuanced gameplay in which Konami proved capable. If you weren't lucky enough to experience X-Men amongst an enthusiastic arcade crowd, being able to finally appreciate the music, with unlimited continues to boot, is easily worth a few rolls of quarters as part of the Marvel Maximum Collection.